I'm Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. I purchased this Craftsman tilting arbor table saw at a garage sale here in Richland. When you buy tools at a garage sale and you just look at it and go, man, that's $25. It's a radial arms. When you buy something at a garage sale, you look at it and say, table looks clean, somebody's taking care of this. It's $25. It's a tilting arbor table saw. Now, I don't know how old this thing is. Might be something from the 40s or even earlier. That raises and lowers the blade. When you pull it out, it tilts it. Now somebody's taken this cover off and the indicator's back in behind there. So I think this has been worked on. It's going to need a little tune-up to make it work well. But it's just cool. Now I had a contractor saw, a Craftsman Contractor Saw. Bought it in 1992. Needed to make storm windows for my old house over in Union City. And I looked at the investment and what I was going to pay for storm windows. Said, you know, if I had a table saw, I could make them. So I bought the table saw, put it in the workshop, used it for 19 years. Great table saw. Loved it. We moved here 2011. My shop size is a lot smaller. I used to have a 60 by 20 workshop. Then I had a 60 by 60 barn sitting next to it. When I moved here, I had a 24 by 24 garage. That was it. There was a little shed, the little red one behind me. That set in the back corner was so rotted out by termites at the right front corner, you could pretty much stick your hand through it anywhere you wanted. Now we rebuilt that and turned it into a good useful barn again. But at the time, there was no way to put anything in there that you wanted to keep safe. Big holes in the roof, it was a mess. So I put the table saw in the garage. I could get my truck in there as long as I put the truck in with the table saw all the way to the back. And then I stuffed everything in around it. I couldn't use the table saw. I put it on wheels so I could wheel it in and out, thinking that I would be able to make a use of it. But it just got obvious to the point that there was no way in the world I was going to have that table saw. I thought, well, I'm really into hand saws and I've got circular saws. I can get by. Wasn't really true. There's a lot of things that a table saw just does well. I know, everybody tells me they're dangerous, you gotta have all this safety equipment on it, and I agree. This thing doesn't have a guard, it needs one. It came with a miter gauge and a fence. Now the fence is pretty well knocked out of position. And a couple of the rubber stops are missing on it. But it does lock fairly securely. I think it'd do better if it had the rubber stops back on it. But for 25 bucks, I can't complain. Sears, Roebuck and Company, Craftsman, made by King Sealy Corporation. Now it has a Craftsman motor on it. It's double-ended. I can't read all the numbers on it because it's getting too dark. And I'll come out tomorrow and take another closer look at it, get a better idea what's going on with it. But for $25, I can't go wrong. Now this little saw will fit back here in the blacksmith shop. not take up a whole lot of room. I could be ripping that much big stuff with it. The thing it's going to be handy for is cutting those little things that, you know, you want 25 of. I can do one-offs with a handsaw. I can do 5 pieces with a handsaw. When I start seeing 25, 30 cuts, it starts getting tedious. Now I have a DeWalt chop saw, and I use that quite a bit. But for the long rips, you pretty much can't beat a table saw. So now I'm going to close up the shop and put everything away. It's getting dark out. Mosquitoes are starting to flock. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.